Tonight, Dr. Cleavon Gilman, a well-respected and well-known doctor in the medical community, is speaking out about his time at Yuma Regional Medical Center. I sat down with him in an exclusive 13 on Your Side one-on-one, and he shares his story with us tonight. Dr. Gilman, well, thank you so much for being here with me today. Tell me a little bit about when you left New York City and arrived in Yuma. What was this mission like? What did you envision?
I was in New York and Manhattan at the beginning of the pandemic there, completing my emergency medicine residency there. And so just kind of being out there and treating patients with COVID, I was looking towards Arizona. What was actually pretty interesting though is that I took this job in November. I came out here when everything was open, downtown, the Prison Hill Brewery, and all these places. And so when I graduated in June, and came here, it was the beginning of the pandemic here. My vision was very clear, right? I wanted to work in an underserved community and provide great care, you know?
Now you arrive here and you're very outspoken. What was the one thing that made you speak out?
Look, this has always been about policy. This has always been about saving lives. I've lost 3 colleagues to this virus. I've also lost a 27-year-old cousin who was healthy training for the NFL. And so when I came out here, I brought all those experiences here, and we're seeing the same thing here in our community as well, too.
Now, fast forward to today. Did the hospital explicitly say, we don't want you to come back?
So I came into a shift, and you know, I was unable to transfer ICU patients out. And there were just no ICU beds in Arizona. And at the same time, I'm being told by Governor Doug Ducey that there are 150 beds in the state of Arizona. But that's not true, because if I'm in a rural hospital and I have ICU patients and I can't transfer them out, that's a lie, right? Because I should be able to transfer out my ICU patients, or they go up to the floor. So I put out a tweet and I said, just got to my shift or something like that, and there's no ICU beds in Arizona, and it went viral. The next morning I saw how viral it went, and I tried to explain a little bit more about that there's all types of ICU beds. It could be pediatric ICU beds, OB-GYN, and so I tried to clarify that. So I went to sleep because it was the morning, and then I got up and I got a call from my staffing agency that the hospital does not want me to return.
Now, what does that do to you as a doctor?
That's what's also very kind of heartbreaking, right? Like, you move to a community, you move your family here, your 2 kids, your fiance, your mother-in-law, and one day, over a tweet about ICU beds, the hospital says you can't return back to work.
Now, doctor, it's a known factor that in rural communities, access to healthcare is quite difficult to obtain. Also, finding good doctors like yourself is quite difficult. Would you put those differences aside, knowing that you have the support of the community and also of the online community, and just set those aside and stay at YRMC?
Look, I'm on the front line treating patients, but then there are two parts of the hospital, right? There are the frontline people who are actually treating patients in the ERs and the ICUs, and then there's the hospital admin who are not treating patients.
So it seems like it's a definite decision that you've made. What's your message to Yuma Regional Medical Center?
You know, look, at the end of the day, look, here's the thing. At the end of the day, I wanted the hospital to see me as an ally, because that's what I am in this community. Like, I'm not doing anything that's wrong. I'm just raising awareness about a pandemic because I'm seeing our community be affected by this.
And lastly, what's your message to our community?
Is please take this pandemic very seriously. We are very close to a vaccine, but it's probably not going to hit all of us until like March or April. But in that time, wear a mask. Socially distance. If you are going to go grocery shopping, go at off hours. Avoid having people outside your family in your house, because we are seeing that spread. I know I've treated so many people here who did everything right, and then went to a birthday party and got COVID and came to the hospital and were extremely sick. So we all have to do our part, support small businesses here. Indoor dining is not safe. I'm sorry, but not having on a mask and eating. But we also need to support our smaller businesses and give them grants to get through this pandemic. I think people look at the big places like Target and these other places who get grants, but we need to support our small businesses through this deadly pandemic.
Well, Dr. Gilman did tell me that he is already looking for other possible places to go to, and he has been getting a couple of offers as well. Well, we do wish him the best of luck.